Hey everyone! Welcome back to AI and Digital Skills Hub, where we make programming simple, practical, and impactful. In today's video, we're going to build something cool. A modern digital calculator using Python and Tkinter. If you've ever wanted to create your own interactive app with buttons, input, and real-time feedback, this project is a perfect place to start. So, open your code editor, and let's build this calculator step by step. First, we import the Tkinter library, Python's built-in toolkit for creating graphical user interfaces. We also bring in messagebox, which helps us display error messages when a user enters an invalid expression. Then, we create the main application window, also called the root window. We set the title to Modern Python Calculator, fix the size to 320 by 470 pixels, give it a dark background, and disable resizing to keep it neat. This is the base where all our calculator components will live. Every calculator needs a display, the area where you see numbers and results. Here we use a StringVar variable called display to hold whatever text appears on screen. We start with a default value of 0. Next, we design a label to show that value. We set a bold Arial font, a dark background, neon green text, and align the text to the right, just like a real calculator screen. Finally, we pack it inside the window with some padding to make it look clean and centered. Below the display, we add a simple status bar that shows what's happening, like ready, typing, calculated, or error. It's a nice little touch that gives users real-time feedback, making the app feel more dynamic and professional. Now comes the brain of the calculator, the click function. This function decides what happens every time a button is pressed. If the user presses C, the display resets to 0, and the status changes to cleared. If they press NOR, the program tries to evaluate the mathematical expression using Python's built-in eval function. If the expression is valid, we show the result and set the status to calculated. But if something goes wrong, like typing 2 plus 3, the program catches the error and shows an alert using messagebox.shower. Otherwise, for normal keys like numbers or operators, it simply appends the character to the display, updating it as the user types. Typing with the mouse is fine, but wouldn't it be great if the keyboard worked too? That's exactly what this next part does. We define a function called keyPress, which listens for any key pressed on the keyboard. If it's a number or operator like plus or we call the same click function. If the user hits enter, it runs the calculation. And if they press Backspace, it deletes the last character. Pressing C clears everything. This makes the calculator feel much faster and more natural to use. Next, we design the calculator's button layout using a list of lists, one for each row. The top row has clear and parenthesis buttons. The next rows have numbers and operators. And the last row contains the equal sign. This structure makes it easy to loop through and create each button dynamically instead of typing them one by one. To make the calculator look modern, we add some color styling. Special buttons like C, parentheses, and division use a teal-green color. Operators like plus, minus, multiply, and equals get a blue tone, while number buttons use a dark gray. We also add a hover effect. When the mouse moves over a button, the background glows slightly, giving a smooth, interactive feel. This is done with two small functions, onEnter and onLeave. Now we bring everything together in a loop. For each row in our button layout, we create a frame and fill it with buttons. Each button gets its color, label, and command, so when you click it, the click function runs with that button's value. We pack them nicely inside the window, ensuring everything scales evenly and looks organized. At this point, our calculator's interface is fully built. Finally, we call root.mainLoop to start the Tkinter event loop, which keeps our window open and responsive. Now, you can test your calculator. Type with your keyboard or click the buttons, perform calculations, and see real-time feedback on the display and status bar. Congratulations! You've just built your own modern digital calculator in Python. And that's it for today's project. We learned how to create a graphical interface using Tkinter, how to handle button clicks and keyboard events, and how to make our calculator both beautiful and functional. If you found this tutorial helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone learning Python. Stay tuned. In the next video, we'll build another interactive app right here on AI and Digital Skills Hub. Keep coding, stay creative, and see you in the next one.